The Rendezvous Radio Show is an eclectic broadcast that showcases an array of people, from musicians, sports players, business owners, and charities. We raise awareness of our guests through writing, music, radio, television, advertising, and social media outlets. From personal interviews and written articles about yourself, your business, or your clients, to creating a personalized book or professional biographies, we got you covered. Have an upcoming event? Need to be promoted? Be a part of the Rendezvous Radio Show with Chris and Alicia, or come to Madhouse TV Studios and get seen. Don't you deserve it? Our goal is to be the pinnacle of all radio broadcasts. As we continue to grow, our primary focus is on our clients, our endorsers, our listeners, and our guests. Without all of this working together, we wouldn't be where we are today.
You're listening to The Rendezvous Show.
Sometimes you can be a part of the crowd. No matter what you do, you're not allowed. No matter what you say, they don't want you anyway, just like the sun doesn't want the cloud. Sometimes you can be a part of the crew, even though deep inside it's killing you. You're craving their respect, but all they offer is neglect if they can only see your point of view. I know that you desperately want in, but I'm afraid you may not ever win. You may think they're cool, but they treat you like a fool, just like every clique you saw in school. Sometimes you can be a part of the group, regardless of how low you choose to stoop. My friend, you must just find some people you can trust, like the captain who must lead a loyal troop. There's one question that I have for you. Why do you even bother with this crew? As far as I can see, they don't have a magic key. It's not the only place where you can be. So the next time you run into this crowd, don't curse the band or even scream out loud. No, just turn your back and say, I don't need you anyway, and say goodbye to this silly, stupid crowd. Yeah, say goodbye to this silly, stupid crowd. OMG.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Another live performance here at TRS
I'm
24/7 Studios here in Middle Village, Queens. Welcome to a very special show here. One of my favorite artists actually came to visit us here in Queens. He's
Is
actually
it December 25th, Chris?
I don't know. It's like Christmas morning.
It is like
what's going on?
Christmas morning all day today. We are being blessed left and right by amazing artists.
Yeah, and they all come from Cyber PR. I mean,
yeah.
we all got introduced to Scott Krokoff, who actually just performed that live here in studio. How are you, Scott?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
We're
doing
doing
really
great. Now, you live so close, but so far. It took
I know.
us like 2 months to get you here.
I know.
Now, we saw you perform live back in, I think it was the first weekend in June or
Yeah,
July
it
at the LIC bar.
Uh-huh.
And what a phenomenal performance. You perform live a lot.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I play once a month locally around here.
Excellent. Now, your name is Scott Krokoff. It's SCOTTKROKOFF. Your website is scottkrokoff.com. One of the first things that Chris and I were drawn to you about was that you never gave up on your dream. And you talk about it in your about. You say, have you ever given up? If you're past your 20s and into your 30s, 40s, or 50s, perhaps you did. Perhaps you gave up on a goal or a dream you wanted to truly accomplish due to other responsibilities, finances, or simply out of necessity. Well, Scott Krokoff has not. Scott Krokoff, pronounced Krokoff, is a practicing lawyer who never gave up his lifelong dream to be a singer and songwriter, and in so doing hopes to serve as an inspiration to others who have not yet fulfilled their dream.
Wow.
Wow.
It seems a lot better when you say it.
Everything seems to sound a lot better when she says it.
Absolutely beautiful. What has been the hardest struggle for you being an indie artist?
The hardest struggle. The hardest struggle is because I'm still balancing my worlds. Is that my life's a juggling act? I'm not able to concentrate on this 24/7. Although you have to concentrate on it 24/7.
It's weird. It's like a double-edged sword,
It is, and I'm like many other artists who have a day job. Mine's a little bit more professional than others are, but it's still a day job nonetheless. And I do as much as I can in my spare time to push what I'm doing. And one of the hardest things for me, I think, is not only to maintain that, because you really have to constantly work at it to stay in the game, not just the practicing, the writing, the recording, the social media engagement, the networking. All of that's a job by itself.
Yes.
And then, it's trying to get people to come to your shows and building up the fan base. That's a very hard thing to do.
It's very difficult, and we've had artists here where we always ask. This is an independent radio station here at TRS 24/7 with Chris and Alicia. It's an independent radio station where we showcase a lot of independent music from around the world. And the number one thing when we ask independent artists, what's one tip that you would give another artist, and it's just that to hone your craft, to always work at it. You know what I mean? To never give up, and to always work at it, and always try to better yourself. You know what I mean?
It's automatic. You have to do that, and it's easy to forget. I mean, one thing I actually have to push myself to do more of, and in fact I should do more of, is things like just basic practicing and things like that, because you're so concentrated and so worried about so many different balls in the air. You're trying to keep everything moving that you're forgetting about the most basic part, and you need that part.
Right.
People don't. They're going to see you on stage, and you need to sell yourself to them. And part of what's selling yourself to them is how confident you look and how calm you look on the stage. And if you don't have all that ready to go, people pick up on things like that.
Oh, and you had it. The time that we went to see you at the LIC bar, you had a nice little crowd there, and you had it.
The house, it was packed.
Yeah, it was packed. And I wanted to go back.
It was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. I wanted to backtrack a little bit. Tell us about that song that you actually performed live here.
Oh yeah, so this is one of my newer songs. It's called it's the longest title I have. It's called "Sometimes You Can't Be a Part of the Crowd."
It's like Alicia came up with that title, because she's always long-winded.
He's correct. He's definitely correct. Yeah, I love the lyrics and everything. What inspired you to write that?
What inspired me to write about this song is it's funny. It's the kind of you sometimes you want to be part of a group of people. I mean, you see that a lot in high school. That's why I sort of analogize to it, where you desperately you want to be a part of someone's group. And then you almost like try too hard, but they just don't want you no matter what. And it's like you start to say, "What's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough for you?" And then that's really not the way you should think. Although naturally that's how people think. What's wrong with me that I'm not good enough for you guys? And the whole point of that song is to recognize that, but also to realize, what, screw them. And start your own craft.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Is that from experience?
That is definitely from experience.
Really?
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? Adult version of bullying. I mean, you see it now. I know my best friend and I, I'm very outgoing. And Chris is high. I meet friends. I'm friends with the mailman, the guy at the deli, the guy who pours our coffee or whatever. But like when you're an older person and you buy a house and you move to a different state, you have to try and fit in now with the parents of your children's, schoolmates and stuff. It's very hard. And that reminded me of something that one of my girlfriends went through.
Yeah, it's painful. Mm-hmm. It's painful. It sucks. You ever see? You know what I think about? You ever see the Seinfeld episode where George wanted? There was like the masseuse. The one where Jerry went out with the masseuse, and George desperately wanted her to.
Oh,
Yes.
Desperately wanted her to like him, and he was like trying, because it was, she would just flat out didn't. He was like obsessed with like trying to prove how great he was.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. No one wants to feel like they're not good enough for somebody, but then you have to just you absorb it, you feel it, and then move on.
Now you said this is a new track. Now what's your process when you're writing a lyric? Is it time consuming for you? Does it come easy? Does it come hard? Like
lyrics almost never come easy for me. They're very painful. It's like a pregnancy. It really is.
So it takes 9 months for you to come up.
Sometimes it takes several years. I'm my own reproductive organ. Because,
that's crazy.
Sometimes look, every now and then I get one of those. I write it on the train and I'm done within an hour, but it's not often. It's pretty rare, and even the ones that I get done quickly for me is a few days. I know you always hear the stories about someone wrote this, in 20 minutes and it's a worldwide hit. I'm not that kind of writer. I usually, it takes me a long time to, sort out what kind of lyrics I want to do. What I usually come up with pretty quickly, I'm good at coming up with the music pretty quickly. I usually, I'll have, some kind of, I'll start noodling around and I'll just have some kind of melody in my head. And I work it till I have it done,
See, I can't imagine like going through that, because I could barely edit these shows sometimes, and to think of a melody and try to produce that in your head, it's just like it's gotta be crazy.
The crazy part when you're doing the melody is
because it's repetitive, right? No, it's like very repetitive. You're psyched when you come up with a good melody, and then you're paranoid. You're like, I hope this doesn't trip over any other songs I know. Sometimes you're like, it's too good to be true. Like, what song am I, taking from here? And you have to
exactly.
You have to be careful about that. But with the lyrics, my process for is usually music first. I almost most of the time I'll have a title. And then when I have a title, then I have my working idea for the song. I don't always have the title, but a good part of the time I do. Usually because sometimes I'm just mouthing off gibberish while I'm just coming up with the melody, and then I come up with some kind of line or two that I like. And then I keep that as my theme. And then it might be years later until I finish it.
Do you drive your wife crazy?
Completely.
She's probably one of your biggest supporters,
She is, but I drive her nuts.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean,
if she were here right now, if she were here to answer your question,
really, that would have been hilarious. But no, seriously, because I can only imagine. I mean, I had a drum set when I was a kid, and I had it for maybe like a week before my mother got rid of it. You know what I mean? Because I drove her nuts with it. And I always tell my mother to this day, I could have been a musician. I could have been a drummer for a famous band, and you took my drum set away at the age of 7.
It's never too late, man.
Well, sometimes for something like that, it is. Yeah. I mean, I am not musically inclined whatsoever. I mean, I just don't have it.
Yeah, it's funny. We have a record label coming in next week to work with us, and we're on the phone, and the guy says, "Oh, Alicia, we're gonna do a song together."
He goes, Alicia, you got to do a song with me. I'm like, where's he getting this idea from? That Alicia does music.
We had a guest on here. Like, I sang Evita. I sing in the shower. Yeah. I break windows. Like, I'm horrible at singing. So I'm like, why is he asking me to sing a song? He thought I could sing. Yeah. Go figure. But you know what I want to...
Can you imagine with that voice her singing?
I know. And I'm not even going to do a tune right now. I'm not even going to embarrass Scott by
doing
you're
not embarrassed.
Right
sing
now.
away.
Let's talk about the harmonica. I mean, when the first time I saw you live, I'm like, is he wearing braces? Like, I saw from like...
It's like a gadget. It's like a dental appliance.
It is like a dental appliance, but you play it perfectly. How did you get the hang of wearing the harmonica around your face and playing the guitar? I mean, that's talent.
Thank you. It's hard. It's harder than it looks.
Is it?
The hardest part, believe it or not, is...
It looks hard.
Yeah, it's trying to... For me, the hardest part is actually trying to sing.
Because you have to move your mouth to then go to sing.
You forget how much you're moving, your mouth and everything, and now I have to almost stand like a statue because I can't... If I move myself too much, I could actually move, I won't be able to sing the harmonica because I'll be affecting the unit. I'll be pushing it down, and then it's happened to me where I've had to try to reach over to sing into the harmonica, and it's too late.
I don't think I could do it. It looks too complicated for me to do.
You know what? And we enjoyed that first track. I mean, that first live song so much that you're actually going to perform another one for us, right?
Yes, I would love to.
What's the name of that one?
So this is called "Scared Little Boy." This is another new tune.
Okay, and this is "Scared Little Boy" by Scott Krokoff, our in-studio guest here. You're on TRS 24/7 with Chris and Alicia.
was a scared little boy. 'Twas instilled from the time I left the womb, protected way too much in his cocoon, so unaware that he'd be scared of the yellow moon. As a scared older boy, looking through his fearful eyes, you would have seen all the ridicule that killed his self-esteem, causing the tears during the years when he was a teen. Their self-conscious, his confidence sinking, withdrew in a shell without even thinking. The fire in his eyes kept at bay, his goals and desires put aside for another day. As a grown younger man, feared rule his timid life with an iron fist. He didn't even bother to resist and think of the things that he would miss. As a scared little boy, he was reluctant to take many chances, and soon was defined by his own circumstances. The fire in his eyes kept at bay, his goals and desires put aside for another day. As a frustrated man, it was difficult for him to speak his mind, and the consequences surely weren't kind. None of his stars ever aligned. As a scared little boy, and the fire in his eyes swept away, his goals and desires slowly died from decay. Now he's an elderly man, wishing he can start his life anew again. But his time is getting closer to the end. Soon he will die, wondering why. He was a scared little boy.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what that song makes, like these two songs that you just performed here live. You're on TRS 24/7 with Chris and Alicia in studio, independent artist Scott Krokoff, and those two songs it makes me want to delve into you, because I mean,
very deep.
You might want me to come back for that.
we have a therapy couch that you can lay on, and you can just pour it all out. Amazing. It's funny.
What is that track about? I mean, is that from experience? Is that something that it speaks about an elderly man? Who is the elderly man?
It's the kind of the whole parable, the whole moral of this kind of story is basically to show what fear can do to a person.
It could kill a person. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's what I got out of it. Yeah.
That's exactly it. It could destroy somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It could take everything that's good about someone and it could destroy them.
Yes.
And if you don't, find a way to conquer that, that's what will happen to you.
Oh, sure.
You'll be the elderly man who wonders why he or she was so scared.
Yeah.
I've dealt with fear a lot, and that's why I write a song like that.
Fear is faith that doesn't have its wings. So many people are so scared of like taking that next step or going down a road that they don't want to venture, and they end up they're living in fear.
Now that's that's a new track, correct?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah, because I don't remember hearing it on any of the songs.
It's going to be on the next record.
Okay, awesome. You know, and when is that coming out?
Well, it's hopefully by, I'd say, May or June.
Sweet.
Right. And what's that process like? I mean, it's one thing to come up with a song and a lyric, and that takes a while. But the process of creating a whole album, I mean, what does that entail?
It's really a labor of love. I mean, it's a whole project that you're thinking about constantly ad nauseum until you finish everything.
Drive your wife crazy.
You drive yourself crazy. I mean, but the thing is, when you're done, it's such a satisfying feeling. It's just, you come up with a bunch of songs that you're really happy and excited about recording, and then you go through the process, and then you record it, and then you drive yourself crazy. With what kind of instrumentation. There's no rules when it comes to recording in the studio. You want to obviously make sure you have a great producer. I do. Bob Stander is fantastic, and good musicians to work with. But you come in with your song, and now, like, here's the next process. The beginning, so the first process, the first step is coming up with, some really good songs that you're happy about. And then when you go in there, now you got to, do arrangements and come up with, and then when it comes to like standard folk or pop or rock songs, you're gonna have bass and drums and electric guitar and keyboard and things like that, but you still got to mix it all in. You're baking a cake, as a lot of people like to say.
I wanted to touch on that. I forget to ask you, how would you describe your music? In what genre? Because right now all genres kind of like mesh together, and they kind of like, is it folk, Americana? Like what kind of how would you describe your music?
I have massive difficulty explaining my music. I know you're not supposed to say my music doesn't sound like anybody else, because that's even though you want that, let other people tell you that. Mm-hmm. I definitely weave in different kinds of styles. I definitely have a combination of folk and
a little rock. You
little
have some
rock
rock in there.
Pop.
Yeah. You have some pop also. Yeah.
I definitely I'm a folk pop guy. I say Americana because that's sort of what Americana means. Mm-hmm. It's that kind. It's really like a combination of those styles. That's what Americana seems to signify these days. But I definitely. I have my folkiness, as you heard by this song, but I tend to sing more from a pop perspective and play more from a folk perspective. I don't know why. It's just
the reason why the reason why I bring it up is because I'm listening to you here live. It's Scott Krokoff Unplugged here on TRS 24/7.
We're loving this Christmas morning to us.
Yeah, no, seriously. The reason why I ask is because we had another gentleman from Cyber PR. His name was O Jeremiah, and you kind of you give me that feeling like, even if I didn't know you and I were to listen to your music live and unplugged, I would feel like I knew you, and that's very important when you're trying to reach and you're trying to touch and you're trying to make people kind of relate to you and your music. I mean, that's very important, and that's the feeling I get listening to you. I mean, I'm cheating a little bit because I know you, but I'm just saying, like, if I didn't know you, I'd be like, I kind of like know this guy because I listen to the lyrics and I'm like, wow. That's deep.
That's great, man. I appreciate that. Yeah,
okay. Now, you're on iTunes. You can find him at itunes.apple.com with the U.S. artist Scott Krokoff. Now, you have 23 songs on here. So now, if each pregnancy was 9 months, you must have been writing since you're like 3 years old. Come on.
Some of them were twins, probably.
I'm telling you, I have a lot of unfinished songs that I've had in my head for years. My favorite song that we have on heavy rotation because of my request is "What the Hell." That is my favorite. I tell Chris all the time. I love. I feel like I have to end it with that now.
Yeah,
I might have to.
You might have to.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If you have another new one, you can play that one, and then you know what? Why don't we do that now? Why don't we play?
Okay.
What the Hell, and then we'll play. You have another new song?
Yeah, I could do another one.
Well, we'll end the interview with the new song.
But for now, I love this song.
Alicia, this is for you then.
For now, why don't you appease Alicia here?
Oh, yeah.
You're on TRS 24/7 with Chris and Alicia, in studio guest Scott Krokoff. Unplugged.
What the hell happened to me?
that I find myself down here in misery. What the hell happened to me? For what it's worth, it's here for you to see. What the hell became of me now, babe? I had all these plans that never came to be. What the hell became of me? That my blood was so consumed by jealousy. To want as much as anyone, you gotta work like everyone I do. Worked as hard as anyone, want as much like anyone. So why do I hurt more than you? Tell me, why do I hurt more than you? What the hell did I now do? It's not as if I've never had a clue. What the hell did I not do? And that my destiny's the same as all of you. To want as much as anyone, you gotta work like everyone I do, yeah. Worked as hard as anyone, want as much like anyone. So why do I hurt more than you? Tell me, why do I hurt more than you? What the hell? What the hell happened to me? What the hell happened to me? What the hell happened to me now? What the hell happened to me? What the hell became of me now, babe? To want as much as anyone, you gotta work like everyone I do, yeah. Worked as hard as anyone, want as much like anyone. So why do I hurt more than you? Tell me, why do I hurt more than you? What the hell happened to me now, babe? What the hell happened to me?
I love that song.
There you go, Alicia. Are you at peace now?
I'm beyond. Today
peace?
is Christmas morning to me. I love that song.
Are you at peace?
You know, that song I see in a movie. I see it like at the breaking point or at the turning point in a movie where I don't know.
You're a movie director now?
Yeah, you know what, Chris? I might be. I see it in a movie. And you know who I see? The funny thing is Christian Slater. Like, I just see him at like a turning point.
What is going on through that head of yours? Seriously.
I don't know.
I mean,
like,
sometimes,
vision, right?
I mean, yeah, sometimes I wonder, but now, I mean, the more you talk, the more I realize what's going on in that head of yours. I mean, it's all over the place.
No, I do. I see it in a movie, and I just see it at the turning point of a movie before the guy like breaks. And what the hell happened to me? Like, I'm just as good as you. I've been trying just as hard. I've been doing it just as long. What the hell? And then boom, putting on the suit, the wash. I see it.
Well, that's what the hell means. What the hell is like you work. You know, you did all the right things. You really pushed hard, and life's got no guarantees.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then, you know, you could still fall flat in your face, and then you're like, you know, WTF, you know, you're like, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
what more can I do?
Right, exactly. I love that song.
You know, it's you're a perfect example why I love doing this, because you discover music like this, which you typically would not discover normally on a regular radio station. And I am a big fan of my own radio station, not because it's mine, but because I listen to my own station, and I have great music on rotation there with great artists such as yourself. And I love it. Like, I would listen to the station. I would want a terrestrial radio station to play this type of music. And it's the best music discovery ever. Better than Spotify, better than Pandora. This music discovery is amazing, and we love it. And we're so happy that you came here to perform live. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, I'm having a great time, man. Thanks.
Okay. Now, if you can give an indie artist tip of the day from your own personal experience, I mean, you're a full-time lawyer, you're an aspiring, well, you're an incredible musician. But, aspiring to do, probably more in the music field, what would be an indie artist tip you can give somebody just starting out?
I could say a lot of things. Obviously, what I said before about,
No, you can't say that again.
Okay, I won't say it. It's like I only get to say it once.
Oh, wait, did I ask the indie artist tip already?
Yeah, you did, but I mean, that's
another one.
Yeah, he has others. So.
No, there's something I want to say. I'm trying to figure out.
I'm so lost in the movie theme.
It.
I must have forgotten.
She's still coming up with her.
She's got these comic strips in her head. It's
no, they're
ridiculous.
not comic. They're like feature films, like dramas.
Yeah,
she needs to come up with the pitch.
Sci-fi. They're sci-fi.
Sometimes music is discovered through movies. Sometimes they're picked up by an independent film. Next thing you know, they're like, who sang that song? I love it. And that's the best exposure that an artist can get. Which
it's
is
great exposure.
Look at Billy Vera.
I got the tip.
Okay.
Because if I'm going to forget.
He's got to raise his hand. Shoot.
I'm going to forget.
No,
seriously. You should, I think everyone, obviously people, I find a lot of people obviously don't want to say it, but when you write your songs, if you're gonna get into the business of writing songs and performing them, you obviously want people to like them. And the thing is, not everyone's going to like them. You're gonna throw yourself to the wolves. People don't realize how much time goes into a song. They quite honestly don't care that much. They want to, when they see you, they want to, you have to win them over. And you're not going to win everyone over, and that's okay. You got to just do it, whatever it is you're comfortable doing. You want to pick up things from watching people, you should. But whatever makes you most comfortable, including your banter, whether you're a talker on stage, whether you're not a talker, the key is whatever you're doing, you do that you believe in. And if you do it that way, then you'll be confident about it, and people will pick up on that. And then people will, your fans will approach you. You'll find them. One thing that I'm still not good at to this day is I get nervous when I play in bigger crowds. I really want to win them over. I get frustrated because it's taken me so long, and I think, well, how come so and so is getting gigs I'm not getting? It must be something, and and it happens to me all the time, and I find it's very frustrating. If you want to know the thing my wife gets crazy about the most, it's this. It's the thing that that I beat myself to the ground about it, because I feel like maybe I'm pitchy or something like that, and because I get myself so worked up about it, then I don't sing to my capabilities. And then I don't perform to my capabilities. I play fine. You might see me playing and think, oh, I sounded pretty good. I sounded pretty good, but I didn't sound outstanding because I worried about things like this. You can't do that. Right. You got to just it's a very difficult thing. It's easy,
it's
people
paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, people are watching you on stage. You are a science experiment. You are.
Yeah.
And you might want to wish it away.
I don't think it's a science experiment. I hated science, and I like listening to you, so I don't think it's a science experiment.
I'm just saying, like, it could drive you nuts, but you got if you just go up there and you play, do your thing and you have fun with it. That's the best advice I can give you. You know what? That is probably one of the most pieces of advice from the heart.
Well thought out.
Well, not even well thought out, from the heart. Yeah. I mean, that was beautiful, and I can't imagine how many people relate. I know the first time I did a public speaking, I do the schools. I perform in front of children. So the first time I had to do a public speaking in front of adults, I was like so nervous. And one of my governors says, "But you do this all the time." I go, "But in front of children, they they look up to me. I make them laugh. Now I got to do it in front of adults. They're watching me. They're going to critique me. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Some people are just not going to think. They're not going to care about what you have to say, and they're going to prejudge you or judge you too much. And you got to just forget about those people. You got to just focus on what you're there to present.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with me. Focus, just do my song, do it as best as I can, enjoy it, and then you'll find the people.
Well,
who
we
like it.
enjoy your show. Again, we saw you live at LIC Bar, and we
Thank you.
so enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're speaking with Scott Krokoff here, independent artist who has some great music, and it's been a long time coming, for you to come into the studios. I mean, you live so close, but we're so happy that we finally got you here. Now, tell us, do you have children?
I do.
Would you recommend that they follow in your footsteps in terms of the music career?
I mean, look, if my kids love music, I would love that, obviously. My son Leo loves to sing, and it makes me feel pretty good.
Really?
Pretty proud. He does. He loves to sing like the ABCs and things like that. He's got a good ear. But I would want my kids to do whatever they wanted. I would want, my job is to make to see what it is that they do best, and to help encourage them to go in that direction.
Now, were your parents musicians, or? No,
my mom loves to sing in the car.
That's it? That was it? That was it?
No, they're not.
So how'd you pick this up? It's just.
I've throughout my childhood I had a pretty good ear for picking out music. I would be able to pick out a melody and play it on the piano, and I didn't. The thing is, I didn't really focus on anything younger. I learned trumpet in junior high school for a year, but then I never followed through with it. And then slowly, when I was a senior, I started to dabble in the guitar a little bit, and then in college is when I picked it up, when I started being more serious about it.
Interesting. So listen, every artist has vulnerabilities, and a lot of times it's what makes an artist. It's what makes a great song. And I can tell in your music, no offense, that there is some vulnerability there, but
I'm not offended.
No, but I'm just saying that people who actively listen to your music will understand.
Like me.
You.
I get I get everything. Like I could see so many different people when you talk, and it's like, wow, thank God for Scott Krokoff, because he can put those feelings into music and share it with the world. People know they're not alone when they listen to your music. We'll be driving in the car, and we listen to TRS. We're addicted to our station on the phone.
I plug my phone and I plug it into the car.
Of course, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, and I listen to the music all the time.
And we have you on heavy rotation.
Yeah.
We're honored to know you. We're very proud of your music. We stand behind it. We love everything.
Yeah, you know what? He's gonna actually take us out with one of his latest tracks here, one of his latest songs. Scott, I want you to take this opportunity now and plug your websites. Where can people contact you if they want to book you for an event? Give that out now.
Okay, well, Alicia, Chris, first, thank you so much for having me on.
No problem.
Really, totally appreciate it,
awesome.
and had a blast being here. And appreciate all your comments and all your feedback. It means a lot to me. And so my site is it's scottkrokoff.com. So Scott with 2 T's. KROKOFF, 2 F's in Frank.com. And you could just
awesome website, by the way. Love
thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah.
You can just go there, because I got all my little social media follow links, and you want to check out my stuff, go right there. There's a music player and everything.
So if people want to book you, they just go right on.
Yeah, there's content, everything you need to do, to know about me. Go there. And
awesome.
The song I'm going to play is actually I'm going to
take us out.
We're segueing here. It's nice. It's called "The Right Place," and it's also a new song, and this is about how you push through life, but everything happens at the right place at the right time.
Awesome. Well, I want you to let us know when that album comes out, so we can promote it heavily here on TRS 24/7. And again, we want to thank you for being on our show, and take us out.
Okay. You wanna know how the hell you ended here? Maybe it had to do with something that you feared. Maybe you made certain moves that weren't wise, and now from sun up to sunset you despise. Maybe you took the path that everybody chooses, but it's not over. You can still pursue your muse at the right place, the right time. You just need the right place, the right time.
Some days are so tough you think you lost the will. And when you're feeling so empty, it really kills. You need to make some decisions, otherwise you'll have the sun up to sunset is all a lie. Don't wanna hear about all your lame excuses. Just keep believing and you'll see that you will do it at the right place, the right time. There will be the right place, the right time. I know it's easy being comfortable, and though you're angry, you'll just get away by feigning. That's why I figure you need to risk it all, or else you might as well get used to your complaining. I know despite all your effort, you were stuck, and that you wish that you had much better luck. But don't you dare give in, you better try, or else the sun up to sunset is all a lie. When you're not happy but you always make excuses, then it's a definite that what you really lose is the right place, the right time. You just need the right place, the right time. There will be the right place, the right time. You just need the right place, the right time.
You're listening to The Rendezvous Show.
Welcome to The Rendezvous Show with Chris and Alicia. It's no secret terrestrial radio is dying. The consolidation of radio by Clear Channel and others has destroyed a once thriving industry, and while at the same time, online listening has exploded. Take advantage of this new technology, but still benefit from regular terrestrial radio. Search for internet or podcast radio shows that might be interested in your music. Send them your MP3. Make the information about you and your band interesting and easy to access. Follow up your submission with an email, Facebook message, and or a phone call. Although it's rapidly becoming a dinosaur, you can still benefit from airplay on terrestrial radio. Look for big stations that offer indie or unsigned artist radio airplay and send them your material. It's key not to forget about college radio stations. It's your best chance of getting your music playing. Send copies of your material to all local college radio stations within 100 miles of your fan base. And, as always, make sure you follow up. If you know your material is going to be played online or terrestrial radio, make sure you promote it. Tell your fan base to post it everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, even the bathroom wall. Encourage them to listen and to contact the radio station to interact with the hosts. If the radio stations get interactions, it's almost guaranteed you'll see additional exposure and airplay. This has been a Rendezvous Show Indie Tip. Don't forget to visit our Facebook page at The Rendezvous Show with Chris and Alicia for updates of our upcoming shows.